Let me double check what the date is. Alright. Just make sure I have this correct, which I did and I do. Today is still January 13th, 2026, roughly about 6:15 at night. Now, government, locally here. You seen that video I posted about, what is the name again? Pamela Hess. One of the very first videos I put on YouTube here on this account, upon which I'm going to be adding this video, about how she was trying to murder, without me even acknowledging, fully knowing type stuff, but yet she pointed fingers at me with that ozone machine. I don't know if it's strong, weak, or whatever. Mary Gibbs, that lived in apartment 1 before the person that lives in there now. And then she was hauling me around with this wood that's up in New Auburn, going here and there with Facebook and stuff. And by the time I'm catching up to the fact that that's what she's trying to do with this ozone machine that looked like a fog machine, which I have already put on a YouTube video that you have already watched months ago, that she was trying to do that to Mary Gibbs, Pamela Hess was. And then I'm reflecting back, looking, dude, at Brenda's dad's house where Brenda is living, that ain't regular patterns I'm noticing since Christmas. The last time I was there was on Christmas. In fact, I'm going to add a photo of the kitty on that day on the couch, or love seat I should say, of their living room that I took. I'll add at the end of this video. Now, I didn't really recognize it right away because Brenda was saying, oh, this is brothers and sisters of hers on the other side of, compared to Andy, which is Randy's brother, my stepdad's brother, that has passed on 3 years ago or so. I'll mention that last name of theirs later on and how it's linked to the Water Street. And how much money did they put in that? But anyways, it could have all been avoided because those people that actually, I just figured out a day or two ago, were not her brother and sister. So I'm figuring out that she might be dead. Her dad might be dead. You know who those people were linked to though? Pamela Hess. That I'm just figuring out about a day or two ago. Now, they live right there across from where Jay comes into 53. There are cameras all over those lights on 53, across from the animal hospital. Why hasn't she been arrested yet? Because you already know, and I know my aunt pretty well. She would have put up a dang trouble, and all 4 of them probably, or so, are probably, wherever they took her, Brenda there, to probably take her out. They're probably dead too because she probably outwitted him. She's smart. Very smart. Take the last name and look at Water Street again of who she was married to. That was a service member he was too. Alright, the last name I'm going to mention right now. Sonnentag. Now look at that Water Street buildings. That land was donated and a lot of money was donated to help build those. And you still ain't got her arrested? When she should have been arrested 2 years ago for what she was doing to Mary Gibbs. That could, so Brenda should still be alive. Why isn't she? Because you didn't listen. And you knew, although she's pointing fingers at me for all this and that and whatnot and stuff, that you knew she was manipulating the whole situation. You knew there are plenty of people that are manipulating beyond the imagination of you, authorities, and you were going with it. That's how my Aunt Brenda, who has a different last name after Andy Sonnentag passed, which is Randy Sonnentag's brother, who was in the service, has now passed Brenda there. Her last name has been changed. I don't exactly know it offhand, because he only passed about 3 years ago. Dude, you are just wrong, people. Authorities in this area. It has got me livid. But yeah, she probably outwitted him, probably took all of them with her if she is dead. And I'm not seeing any indication of proper patterns of anything when I'm walking past lately for the last 2 weeks here. I just figured out that those people were actually, somehow I met them like a year ago with Pam. It's like it took me 2 weeks to reflect on who and how I knew them, because they looked familiar, but she told me brothers and sisters here. So that means with those cameras and audio on those camera systems of that light post or the street lights in that area across from the animal hospital there where they lived at the moment, you got the audio and everything they said, she said, and so how is Pamela Hess still, as far as I know, in her apartment still? Plus, with what she was doing towards Mary Gibson, distracted me. And once I found out, I got her out of here by pissing off Jody Quapo, who's been taking her side the whole time too. Just like he would with Keith or Butch or anything that anyone else said. But don't worry, Janie's always wrong. That's how you approach it too, authorities. Hey, Mayor. That was a Sun and Tag. Now look at Eau Claire and Water Street again. That was a Sun and Tag. Get this stuff straightened up, because you're going to need to. There's probably a lot of Sun and Tags, and the other side asking, where is she? Where is he? And they got pressure on you. Well, I'm assisting now. I'll attach that little photo of Christmas, of me being there. And you better get this straight. How is she still in apartment 2 there? Toodaloo. Why am I being kicked out for doing nothing wrong but verbally defending myself? And pointing out to you law enforcement several times in the last 20 years, plus at the CSP program, several times, there are people stalking me and it needs to stop over the last 20 years. Now, refer to the Patriot Act. See something, say something. I did. Many times. Many times. On both those angles. Now I'm being kicked out for verbally defending myself because you people wouldn't do anything every time I reported anything to you about any of that. So what was the point of even trying to report anything else to you, because you didn't even handle that stuff appropriately? I couldn't, because you weren't even handling anything appropriately around me that I would report. You always took everybody else's sides like Pamela Hess. Now why is that? Who's paying you to take their sides compared to the actual truth? Alright, now, I'm going to attach that little photo. I'll post it probably tomorrow, maybe tonight still, being July 13th, 2026. Or January, I should say. Duh. God. Alright. Hey. You got me ticked. Let's just put it that way. January. Probably said January in some of those other videos too, but whatever. Dude, like... Too much going on in my life right now. Toodaloo.